Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this opinions video. And a big thank you to Uncle Revel, who said, I'm waiting for the opinions poll from Wrestling Daze as to what's next for the Wyatt 6. And I thought this was better than just doing a poll. I thought it made sense to do an opinions video. What is next for the Wyatt 6? Some people might say that it's time that we do Uncle Howdy against Chad Gable. Some people might say that we do a rematch, but we up the stakes. Maybe it becomes a street fight or something along those lines. Some people might say it's time for the Judgment Day. Some people might say we need to get Alexa back and we need to get those teases going. Like, I feel like there's lots of things that we can do. Some people might say that we need to get going towards a title. I don't know. I haven't seen the responses. I always read these at the same time that we read them on screen, right? So I genuinely don't know what people are going to say. I think for me, I would probably keep going with this feuds with the Creeds and Chad and American Maids, just because I don't think we've really brought Ivy Nile in yet. And I think that Ivy Nile Nikki is a match that we could build towards. I think that Chad and Uncle Howdy is a match we can build towards. I feel like there's still things that we can do here. I think the hard thing, though, is how do we put the Wyatt 6 in peril? Because we're going to need to give the Creeds and Chad something. Do you remember they beat down Uncle Howdy? They beat down Bo. And then he was laughing at them. So, you know, we gave them a little something there. It feels like we need to give them a little something again because they have suffered a loss. And if this thing is going to continue, do they jump them backstage or... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that next thing would be. But I feel like the Creeds and Chad need to get a bit of a comeback. And then, of course, we build to another match, Chad, Howdy. We build to Ivy, Nikki. We build to Creeds against Dexter and Gacy. Don't quite know what we do with Rowan, but that's kind of roughly where I am. I'm thinking Judgment Day have got maybe a bit too much on their plate at the moment with the whole Damian, Rhea, Liv, Dom, Finn. Like, all of that's going on at the moment. So they don't feel quite ready yet for the Wyatt 6. So those are my thoughts, but I want to know what you lot have got to say. And we're going to start with Ethan, who said, I think they continue with American Maids. We still haven't gotten the Uncle Howdy Chad Gable payoff match, which I hope happens at Bash in Berlin. If they wait till Bad Bloods, then I think the feud will have gone on too long. I don't see Alexa fitting into this group at this point. I think they'll keep them separated, with Alexa going to SmackDown and doing her own thing, whether that's Bray related or not. Ty said, I've been saying that about Alexa joining since the debut. So many are so hung up on it happening. She literally doesn't fit the group's dynamic, discarded, forgotten, neither of which she is. So some really interesting thoughts there. I'll try anything once said, finish up with Gbale at Bad Bloods. Then they continue with the agenda of betrayers coming to justice. So they'll target Dakota Kai, DIY, or possibly the new Judgment Day. They also will somehow find Dijak and make him pay to, or oil him up. Are we talking Dijak as in, I mean, he's out of the company now, so I'm not sure that is a direction that we're going to go. You can't kill me in a way that matters said, I'd love to see Gacy take a side quest to NXT to terrorize Ava for a bit. So a couple of thoughts there. Yeah, the Dijak one, I mean, he's properly out of WWE, which maybe, you know, not everyone has heard, but unfortunately is no longer with the company. OTC 3009 said to go after Judgment Day since all of them turned their backs on their friends and family except Liv Morgan. Brady said, I think Nikki starts a feud with Dakota Kai in which Nikki will eventually be in need of help. So the Wyatt 6 start teasing the return of Alexa Bliss. Ethan said they start planting the seeds for Alexa's return and the feud with American Made continues because Howdy hasn't fought Chad yet. Good. Ethan, shout out to you, my friend. Colton said, to be honest, I'm just here for the ride. That's a good way of looking at it. Jello Man said, I think Howdy goes one-on-one with Gbale at Bad Bloods. Then they move on to another feud, preferably a Judgment Day feud. You Can't Kill Me in a Way That Matters said, I think we need to see another match or two between the Six and American Maids. Then Howdy versus Gbale finishes it off. After that, they could go after liars and betrayers in general, or the ones specific to the group. King Joker said, I think Bo needs a one-on-one with Chad. That message is really coming through, isn't it? Not needs, but I would like to see. As a group, Judgment Day are busy with Damien and Rhea, so maybe we start teasing Alexa or the Man in the Woods. Or we go after Final Testaments. I think the seeds of doubt have already been planted there, so they can move on. C2 Bland SF said, Howdy Gbale, Firefly Funhouse match at Bad Blood. Boom. Raiders Boogie said they set up something with Dakota, so maybe Nikki goes after Dakota, Gacy goes after Dom, and Rowan and Strowman. Still don't know who Dexter goes after. Howdy should keep going after Gbale and the Creeds. Who does Loomis go after? So you have got Gacy after Dom, Rowan after Strowman. Wow. Who does Loomis go after? I always thought like that, I mean, maybe Rowan doesn't go after Strowman. Perhaps you have Rowan go after Dom, and then you have Gacy and Loomis as a team, because they seem to be the team. I'm remembering that, right? Oh, no, yeah, they seem to be the team. So they could go after, like, maybe Finn and JD, and then maybe you have Rowan going after Dom, which would be a bit strange, but could be a lot of fun. But that's if we build towards the Judgment Day thing. Vicky said, I still think they're going to go for American Maids. They'll have Ivy attack Nikki/Abby, the Witch. They have a match at some point. Not so called Judgment Day. Nikki might go after Damage Control as they left Bailey. Mike said, Howdy and Gbale will have a singles match at some point. Maybe the rest of the group start to scout out new victims. Negan said, I think we aren't done with the VHS tapes. They will be used to hype the group further. I also think they aren't done with American Made until it's Howdy versus Gbale. Marsh31 said, I think they finish with American Made entirely at Bash in Berlin, possibly starting something with Judgment Day or Damage Control. Chanel said, a trip to Odds Farm. Seriously, I don't think it's over with Chad yet. However, if it is, then I think now they should start planting seeds of Alexa Bliss. I think Joe Gacy and Dexter should go after the tag titles, and then Nikki could be the first women's Intercontinental Champion. Chalky White said, I really want to see Howdy versus Gbale. I have no doubt that Bo is going to be a main event in the near future, and this match with Gbale would be a great start for him. Thomas said, I think they'll feud with Chad Gable and the Creed some more, and the feud will culminate with a one-on-one match between Gbale and Uncle Howdy. Jimmy Rabbit said, I think they'll continue the feud with American Maids, and after that, your guess is as good as mine. Maybe Final Testament if they get Xavier to turn on Kofi. Well, there is some very interesting seeds being planted there, because we know that Xavier was struggling with Odyssey Jones coming in, so it could be a red herring, it could be to throw us off the scent, but equally there could be some development in that story, so that could be interesting. Samantha said they'll finish with American Made and then focus on the Judgment Day. I would like to see a one-on-one with Chad and Uncle Howdy. Ratchet the Owl said, I think after they're done with Gbale, which will be after Howdy gets his one-on-one with him, I think they go after the new Judgment Day. That's a great way for the Wyatt Six to tangle with Judgment Day without compromising Priest and Rhea's babyface push, by Rhea and Priest being out of Judgment Day. Uncle Revel said, I think Monday they come to the ring to cut their first in-ring promo, only to be attacked by American Maids. This will lead to a one-on-one match between Gbale and Howdy at Bash in Berlin. Dog Lover and Cody fan account said, I think they go after Judgment Day due to the fact they turned on Rhea and Damian. Sinan said, I think the feud with American Made will continue till a big PLE match with Uncle Howdy taking on Chad Gable, most likely Bad Blood. I wonder if we do continue to Bad Blood, though, what would we do at Bash in Berlin? And I wonder if we do an 8-person. We did a 6-person tag, but you could do an 8-person because you could add Nikki and you could add Ivy. It doesn't really change it drastically, though. It's basically a rematch, but just with the women added. But you could maybe do that at Bash in Berlin. But Bash in Berlin, how long are we looking? We're looking at a good 20-odd days. I mean, we've still got a few weeks to go until we get to that. You know, what do we do for those few weeks? And then, you know, I think then you're well on your way to Bad Blood. I think it is Bad Blood after that. Then you could maybe do Chad Howdy. But it was mentioned earlier, is that stretching it a little bit too far? Don't know. Can't see them being able to get at the new Judgment Day before Bad Blood, though. So we might have to try and get to Bad Bloods. But that makes me think we really do need to do some really interesting stuff, you know? Like, we could really do with, like, a Firefly Funhouse type presentation. It doesn't have to be the Funhouse, but it would be good to get something that really kind of, you know, surprises us. And kind of pushes the story forward as well, rather than just, I don't know, doing the predictable. It is tricky, isn't it? It is tricky. Joseph said they'll finish up with American Made, then go after the new Judgment Day because they are liars. Dom said he hated Liv and that Rhea is the one that he was going to be with. Finn said for ages that him and Damian were brothers, but he lied and he stabbed Damian in the back, so I would have them do that. Ben said, I think another match against American Made, Creeds versus Dexter and Rowan, and then Gacy versus Gable, and then it ends at Bad Blood. 4-on-4, Creeds and Gable with Ivy against Dexter, Rowan, Gacy, and Nikki. So, hang on, we're on the same page here. So, another match with American Made, Creeds versus Dexter and Rowan. So, you would do just Creeds against Dexter and Rowan. You would do Gacy versus Gable. Have it all go to a 4-on-4. So no Uncle Howdy is what I'm getting there from Ben. No Uncle Howdy competing, which I think would raise a few eyebrows, but equally does fit the narrative of the group, because this group is all about these guys getting the opportunity. It's all about them shining. It's not really about Uncle Howdy shining. It's about them getting the opportunity and showing their value, you know, showing that they deserve a place on the card. But I still think people want to see Uncle Howdy wrestle as well. All of that's great, but I think people do want to see Howdy as well. So tricky. Yeah, tricky. Terry said, I think they will still feud with American Made for a bit longer. Perhaps a Chad Howdy match at Bash in Berlin. I don't think they'll target the new Judgment Day yet, as Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley have unfinished business with them. Jay Wyatt said, I think they will continue with American Made until Damian and Rhea are done with the Judgment Day, and then they'll go after them for breaking up their family. Nikki versus Liv would be insane. Dean said, if they are done with Chad and American Made and the streets are right, I could see them going after Judgment Day, and the Wyatt Six were the ones behind the liar, so the graffiti. And Nikki could have her first feud and debut as Abby against Liv. Al said, I think like most, they aren't done with Gable yet. Melanie said, it was good. I believe in Joe Hendry. Clap, clap. What if Wyatt Six, Damian and Rhea team up on the new Judgment Day? It would be 7 against 5. Who would the Judgment Day bring in to help them? Is this where we bring in Raquel and even possibly another guy? That would be awesome, says Bull. Well, you wouldn't have to have Howdy. So it would be what? Rhea, Damian, Nikki, Gacy, Loomis, Rowan. So you could have 6. So you would just need one more person and it would need to be a female, wouldn't it? Because you'd have Rhea and Nikki. So you would need Judgment Day to go and get a female. Raquel coming into that doesn't really work for me. I feel like you would need a heel. She wasn't a heel. You'd need a female heel. You could bring her back as a heel, but I don't think you would. I think you would just need to add a female heel to that group, but someone that can sort of, and that would be good actually, someone that can play second fiddle to Liv, a little bit like how Mariah May was kind of in Toni Storm's shadow. Someone being like that in Liv's shadow, I think would be very interesting. Someone for her to kind of boss around. Like, if someone wants a shot at the title, you're going to have to go through this person first. Maybe Kiana James. I don't know quite how that looks, but Kiana James is a heel. Kiana James is someone that needs a place on the card. That's interesting, that is. That's interesting. Raquel doesn't feel like it works, but someone like Kiana James. There's a few people down in NXT that you might be able to grab, but I don't know that they're ready yet. Someone like Izzy Dame, I think, would be very interesting because she's got size. She's currently a heel, not that it matters, but she plays being a heel very well. It's just she's quite green still. I mean, she's all right. She's not bad. It's not like she's brand new. She's, you know, decent, and she's got size as well. So, you know, it's kind of like if Rhea wants to get at Liv, she's going to have to go through Izzy Dame. That's a gamble, though. That's a gamble. But she is in a relationship with Bron Breakker, who's also on Raw. Tony said, I think Chad's gonna whine about something and want a rematch or call out Howdy someone, and it'll go in the direction of Howdy versus Gbale. I also think maybe Nikki will challenge Ivy Nile just because of her association with American Maids. Cameron Wrestling said, I would be interested in seeing them explain their relationship with each other, like are Dexter and Nikki together because they were dancing together, or are they siblings? How does Rowan feel about Gacy, etc.? I really like that because we've said before that for me was why the Bloodline was so successful, is we knew all of the relationships. We keep seeing Rowan really like putting his arm on Gacy, like, I don't know, like an older brother to a younger brother. I don't know. I would really love to dig into that as well. There's, I feel like there's definitely a lot that we could learn, and it could really like help their character development. Logan James said, hello, Daze. Hello, Logan. Wyatt 6 next targets, Judgment Day, and do DIY and Wesley, what, join up? Don't think so. Wesley's down in NXT, isn't he? And DIY are on the main roster. I'm not aware of a Wesley call-up. Plus, obviously, with his heel turn, and they're currently faces. I mean, he might not be out of place in that group, but no, I don't see them joining up or doing anything. Brendan believes in Joe Hendry. Nishi said the new Judgment Day. Nathan said, I need them to have another massacre and kill everyone. I'm talking straight out of a horror movie. Maybe even kill Pat, have them hang him by his feet, and have them tickle him till he wets himself. Not sure about that. Make the backstage look like a murder scene straight out of a Freddy Krueger movie, and then have them attack Green Shirt Guy just because I'm jealous. He goes to all the shows. I do agree with that final part. Rico said, I mourn every WWE release, but Hank and Tank need to be future endeavors. Okay. More screen time has not helped them get over. Rico, thank you. Not what we're looking for, but an easy mistake to make. I Am the Color Red said they need to address the 1A in the Nightbird campaign by starting to tease Alexa. Have Alexa be the one who trashed Judgment Day's clubhouse. Oh, I like that. That's good. I like that. That's a swerve. We all think it's Wyatt 6. It sort of is, but it sort of isn't as well because it turns out it was Alexa. YOY said, I think still need to finish Bo Chad story. I'd love them to get Orton for historic reasons. The promos would be epic. However, Orton and the Wyatt Six are so over with the crowd right now, it would be hard to see a feud currently. Chris said, Judgment Day, they just betrayed their friends, so I like that they will make that move. It makes sense. Ashma said, I could one more match with American Maids, but could be Creeds and Chad facing Howdy at Bash in Berlin. Hang on. They could have one more match with American Made, but just with the Creeds. Okay, I'm with you now. So you do a tag match, basically. And then you do Chad versus Howdy at Bash in Berlin. Or they could just go against the new Judgment Day, which they will reveal it was who trashed the Judgment Day locker room. Wrestle Kingdom said Judgment Day feud has to be very close now. Thomas says, I think they go after the Judgment Day next. And here we've got, it's Hey, Lexi, Howdy and Abby versus Chad and Ivy on Bash in Berlin, is that? Or Bad Bloods? Don't know. But if Howdy was wearing a Fiend glove, he would have Sister Abigail'd Chad and the others as the manager, Dexter stalking the Creeds. I think that was all of our comments. What else have we got here? Undertaker surprise appearance got me. What? Is this a new... Oh, we'll have to have that in Unseen. So this is a new Johnny Tommaso clip. Ooh, sounds like a good one. Another look at Howdy's Bray Fiend glove. Yeah, I believe we spotted that on the Massacre day. So, I mean, we've spoke about that many times. That was in Unseen today. Oh, no. No, was this in Unseen? I think in Unseen it might have been the Roman one. So this is green shirt guy. Here we go. Yeah, no, this wasn't in Unseen. It will be. It will be in Unseen. This is them coming down to the ring. They look good. Oh, yeah, it's worth mentioning that that red Hawaiian shirt is actually sewn on the inside, so it's not a separate shirt. It's still clearly meant to represent the shirt that Mercy had, but it's actually sewn to the inside of the jacket. So when he takes it off, that comes off with it. Just a little detail. Yeah, no, that wasn't in Unseen. There we go. Very good. Chris said Bad Blood PLE could be treated as an A-level PLE. Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. It's Cody Rhodes' home state, so he'll have a big match. I'm hyped. What's the venue for Bad Blood like? Is it an arena? That would be good if it was a stadium. But I'm thinking it is an arena, is it? It is Bad Bloods. It is State Farm Arena. State Farm Arena, which can hold, disappointing, about 16,000, 17,000, something like that. Yeah, I wish this was a stadium, but hey ho, it is what it is. And there we go, my friends. So a lot of repetition, if you will, but a lot of really good points as well. Some really interesting stuff in there. But a lot of people saying stay with American Maids, finish that off, then switch to Judgment Day. So it seems like that's kind of what people are looking for. And yeah, I agree, actually. I think that does make sense. I think getting the timetable to work is maybe a little bit tricky. You can get to Bad Blood, but the problem is that if you do get to Bad Bloods, you're going to have to make it interesting, shocking. There might need to be some surprises in there. Certainly more than just, you know, promos. Like, I feel like both sides are going to need to attack each other, or we're going to need like a Firefly Funhouse or something similar. What do we do after the interviews have finished? What replaces those? Do we start building Alexa? There's still a lot of questions, a lot of stuff for us to get our teeth into, but at least we gave it a little glance in this video. So appreciate it, my friends. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.